Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dan Lags, and this video I'm going to try to answer the question, what does the Alpine Mansion really look like? So as many of you guys know, the Alpine Mansion is a recreation of a real-life mansion, and when I was creating it, I tried to make it as similar to the real thing as possible on the exterior. However, when it came to the interior, I did look at floor plans for both the first and second floor of the house to try to make it as close as possible, but I did leave some things open to interpretation. And that includes like layouts for certain rooms and things like that. Recently, I came upon a gallery of a lot of the rooms of the interior of the real life mansion and what they look like when they're furnished in real life. So I thought it would be a cool video idea to compare what the real life mansion interior looks like as opposed to the Minecraft version that I have created. So let's get started. So here is the front foyer of the Alpine Mansion here in the game, and I'm going to also show you guys what it looks like in real life as well. One of the things I noticed right away, the chandelier, obviously made out of cobblestone walls, is going to be a lot smaller on the real life build. But as far as like the layout looks, it's fairly similar. There are some differences. The floor is a lot shinier on on the real life house. I think I would probably do some things a little differently if I were to rebuild the Alpine Mansion again today. Obviously this build is, over 3 years old at this point, so it's definitely a little dated, but I still think it stands the test of time. One thing I actually changed a little bit, and you have to do these kinds of things when you're taking a real life build and converting it to Minecraft. You're gonna have to make modifications so it works. There's more of a curving staircase on the original house. On this one, I just went with like a straight staircase, I guess. It just has one right angle turn and then goes up to the second floor. There's also kind of like a passageway underneath the staircase that leads over here to this room with the fireplace. And that's something that's pretty interesting because there is something like that on the real life house, but it's not quite in that location. So I actually changed that so it would work, for Minecraft. And the room itself doesn't have straight walls like this or flat walls. They're actually curved a little bit to fit around the staircase, which I thought was very interesting when I, kind of discovered this. So there's definitely some similarities, but some differences. And I think you're going to see that throughout the entire house when it comes to comparing it to the real life build. So let's move on to some other rooms. We're going to show off the kitchen today, the dining room. We're going to do master bedroom, a couple of things in the basement, and a few others as well. So if we transition right into the dining room, I got to admit, this one looks pretty similar. As you can see, I have the spruce wood floor that I used here in the city texture pack, and it actually looks really similar to the real life hardwood floors on this room. It's actually surprisingly similar. As far as the wall color, it looks like it's a little bit more of a tan color. Right here I used brown wool, so I guess the appropriate color choice would probably have been like snow or something, or not snow, maybe some sand. That would probably be the best choice. And there is actually a carpet that's underneath of the dining room table, which I did not add here on the Minecraft version. So there's some differences, again, similarities, but you're going to see that a lot. There is definitely a fireplace back here. You can see that behind the table, so I nailed that part. Overall, I would say it's pretty similar. I think I did a pretty good job with this room. So here we are in the kitchen, and I think this is one of the rooms that has quite a few differences, but if I want to start off with some similarities that I see, probably the ceiling here. I like the way I use the quartz slabs crossing each other with the stone as like the top layer of that. I think that looks pretty similar to the real life thing. One thing I didn't do is add the lights coming down from the ceiling over top of the kitchen island. That's something that, was there in the real life build, not here in the game. I used wood as the floor in here. I actually did some wood, I think this is spruce wood logs crossing each other. Pretty interesting design. That actually continues itself up into the counter as well. So I do have two kitchen islands. They look like they're a little bit closer to each other on the real life build than I have here in Minecraft, but close enough, I guess. We have a little microwave over here, which looks to be exactly the same. That's pretty cool. I mean, the layout is overall very similar, but I think just, the limitations of Minecraft and the block choices are a little bit different. And in the picture that I'm showcasing, you can kind of see over here into this room as well. There's a television with some sports center, it looks like, on the wall above the fireplace. I chose to not put a television there. And of course we have like a nice sitting area over here as well, which I think looks pretty similar. And then we start to transition over here into this, I don't know, breakfast space or something like that. Maybe like a kitchen table, however you want to call it. And I like this area of the house overall. And I would say it's pretty similar to the real life build. Lots of windows, lots of open space, and nice natural lighting coming in. I think that's pretty good. There is a little bit of a brown coloring to these walls that I did not add in this version, so that's pretty interesting. Didn't really notice that, I guess. And then of course we have the table as well, and some bushes. So yeah, I would say that, you know, this area is definitely got some differences as well, but it's also got some similarities. So, you know, it's pretty much the same story throughout all these rooms. Is you're gonna see things that it's just interesting comparing it to the real life version when it comes to like how I built it in the game, because it's similar but it's still different, you know what I mean? And there's some things that you're gonna see pretty soon that are completely different. Now that we're in the great room or the family room, this is one of the rooms that has a ton of differences. I'm not even gonna mention the ceiling because I think it's pretty much the same, but there's a large couch design pretty much right in the middle of this room, and I did that, but it's not quite as large as it's displayed in the real life house. Some of the carpets designs and things like that are misplaced and not quite where they are supposed to be. There is no angle of whether or not there's a television above that fireplace. I imagine there probably is, but one of the major differences, and I think this is the biggest difference, is there's actually a French door that opens up into the back porch, patio area, whatever you want to call it, on the back of the house. And I actually don't have a door here. There's actually 3 doors angling right on that space. So that's very interesting that I didn't realize that and didn't add that on the actual build here. So it's pretty interesting. That's a huge difference, and that's something that I didn't even think about. And it's interesting to me because when you come on the outside of the build here, these windows are supposed to be kind of symmetrical from one side to the other. And this one, being on the kitchen, does not have any doors on it, but this one over here does. So that's kind of interesting. And of course, you know, I did not do that in the Minecraft version. So that's definitely a big change. This room is almost completely different besides, you know, the shape of it. So now we're moving on to the ballroom, and this one's very similar. One of the major differences I noticed is that there are 3 doors again leading out to this balcony, where I only did 1 large glass door in the middle. I think that was I think I might have actually known about that, but it was just a decision I made in terms of how to convert it to Minecraft, where I decided to just go with 1 door. I think I built this piano in the middle of the room here, which was not here. I wanted to fill this space with something, since I thought that if it was empty for like the Minecraft tour, people would think that, you know, it was incomplete or something like that. So that's why I just decided to put a piano in the middle of this ballroom. I added some of the chandeliers using some of the cobblestone walls, and it seems like the ceilings are a little bit shorter in the Minecraft version as opposed to what I'm looking at here in the real life version. So it's definitely got a slightly different size to it. The floor is slightly different. I added in these just lines of quartz in the floor. Thought that was a nice touch for Minecraft. And of course the doors are different as well. But I would say, you know, yeah, it's definitely very different. But overall, you know, I think I kind of got the gist of it down, I would say, for this room. But the next room is going to be a completely different design on the real life house. So let's check that out. So if we go straight through the ballroom over here to this corner of the house, I decided to turn this into an office space. But on the real life build, this is actually an observatory, and it has a circular bar table in the middle of the room with some chairs around it and some wooden walls, which is obviously not evident at all. This is definitely one of the rooms that's got the biggest differences. Not even the ceiling is the same. I kind of went with the same ceiling theme, you know, from kind of the rest of the first floor here, and there's no desk space here. So this room was completely different. I decided to go my own route with this one and turn it into an office space, whereas normally it's a observatory with these really, honestly, I think they just these beautiful wooden walls kind of framing all of those windows. I would say the one similarity, I should say, is probably just the amount of natural light that comes in from all these windows. But other than that, this room's completely different. So that's about it for what I'm going to show on the first floor. Let's take a look at the second floor plan and a couple of rooms up there. So here we are on the second floor. Let's take a look at the second floor plan. Obviously, a bunch of bedrooms all over the second floor. We're only going to focus in on the master for this video, so let's check it out. When you come inside the master bedroom, it's very different. Very, very different from the real life one. And obviously, I think the main difference you guys notice right away is that I decided to do the bed up against the window over here as opposed to up against the wall. And that's a major difference. And I can't remember whether or not that was intentional. I think that might have been I don't know if I've ever seen the pictures of this room before, so that might have been something that I just interpreted, you know. So I still think that the bedroom here in Minecraft looks really good, and I think that the bed framing the window here is actually a nice way to do it. But I have to admit, looking at the real life version, That one looks real clean, especially with those floor designs and that carpet. I'm telling you, this, like, looking at this stuff and looking at what this mansion really does look like on the interior is making me want to rebuild the Alpine mansion, maybe do like a remastered version of it. I really kind of want to do it now. I'm not even lying. But that's the master bedroom. We're going to check out the master bathroom briefly as well. So checking out the floor plan again, you'll notice that in the master suite, there are 2 bathrooms, a his and her bathrooms on the right side of that hallway, and there's also a his and her closets. One thing that I actually decided to do about that, I didn't want to do a his and her closet. I thought that was just a waste of space, so I just did one large closet, I think where the his closet is on the floor plan, and then instead of doing a hers closet, I decided to just add an extra guest bedroom in here. You know, I guess not even a guest bedroom, just like an extra bed in the master suite. So that was kind of like the decision that I made on that. And that was definitely intentional when it comes to when I was looking at the floor plan and trying to make a decision. So let's take a look at some of these bathrooms. We're going to look at the hers bathroom here and kind of check out the differences. So I'm going to get like a nice angle over here. We'll stand right here, take a look at the picture. So we have the bathtub right up against the window here, so that's pretty accurate, so that's great. I think the bathtub has some pillars on it, looks like, and a curtain. Definitely looks really fancy. I like that a lot. One thing I noticed, there's actually kind of like a door angled right next to the bathtub, and that's not actually how it looks like on the Minecraft version. The door is over here, there is a room, but it's not exactly angled, and I think I probably made that decision just so it fit a little bit better in the game. It's a little bit difficult to add curvature in Minecraft. And then, of course, we have the nice vanity over here up against the wall, which is also very similar. Obviously, we don't have any mirrors, but other than that, it looks fairly similar, so this was pretty good. Okay, guys, so last but not least, we're going to be checking out the basement. For the record, I did not take any floor plan inspiration for the basement of the Alpine Mansion. I did it all on what I wanted to do. The only thing that I took from it was the basketball court, the indoor basketball court, which I think is one of the coolest features of this house. And this has got to be one of the rooms that looks the most similar. We have, actually, I'll probably take a look at it from this side. That's probably the proper angle there. So we have the 2 windows in between those, that side of the court. And then, of course, we have the full line of windows up there as well. But the blue padding, obviously, nailed that. Looks exactly the same. And then the full-size court as well. One thing I'm noticing about it is there's actually a door on the right side of the room there that I actually did not add. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what's behind that door in real life because I just don't know. And I also missed out on the scoreboard as well up on that wall. So the padding definitely looks super similar, but I missed a couple of fine details. But anyway, let's fly back outside. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I thought this was pretty fun. Looking through one of my favorite builds, one of my most iconic builds, the Alpine Mansion here in Minecraft, and comparing it and contrasting it to the real life build on the interior. The exterior is almost exactly the same. You know, it's as close to it as you can get in terms of Minecraft proportions. But I gotta admit, guys, looking at this stuff in real life and checking out all the differences, it honestly makes me want to remaster this build because let's face it, this build was created in 2014. It's not exactly a spring chicken anymore. It's getting kind of old, so it could definitely use an upgrade, and I'm tempted. I'm not gonna lie, I am tempted after making this video. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I thought this was pretty fun checking out this stuff. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, drop a like. It's been Danlags. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.